Good morning. I so often hear people call themselves or other people lazy. A lot of my clients do this. And I go, I just don't understand why I'm so lazy. Laziness is like this catch-all term that doesn't really mean anything. It simply means you're not getting things done. You don't understand why. It's actually, you don't understand anything about what's going on. And that's why we call ourselves or other people lazy. It's a terrible term because there are reasons why we're not doing things. And one of the massive reasons that I see with my clients is not that they're lazy, not that they don't want to do something, not that they don't want to work, not that they don't want to have results, not that they want to sit around miserable. That's not something that people in my experience typically want. Typically what's going on is that they simply don't have a plan. They don't know that next step. They don't know whether it'll help them. They don't know how to take it. So these are the three things that I often see when it comes to a plan. And again, part of it is simply, what is that next step? That's the plan, right? You need to have a plan. If you don't know what the next step is, of course you're not going to be taking a great step in a strong direction because you don't know what it is. Secondly, sometimes you don't know how to execute that step. You don't know how to do it. So somebody tells you, well, you just do this. Well, if you don't know how to do that, it's not helpful. Oh, you just have to start a website. Well, if you're not sure how to get a domain and then find a hosting service and fill that and have an assistant to fill it for you, a marketer, well, then you're not going to do it, right? Sometimes it's too complex or we just don't understand. And it's not that it's complex for anybody, but it's complex for us. And then the third thing is we simply don't trust whether it'll work or not. If you don't believe it's going to work, or you don't believe you can do it yourself, or if you don't even know what you need to do, that's going to stop you every time. So here's the key. Have a plan, and not only have a plan, but have a simplified plan. Have a plan that works backwards. I've talked about reverse engineering a lot in the past, but look at your goals and then ask yourself, what are 1 to 3 things? 1, 2, or 3 things I can do for the next 3 months to hit my goal for the year? Or what are the 1 to 3 things that I can do today that will get me closer to my goal by tonight? If you are consistently asking yourself this question, you will start to come up with more actionable items. And it's a practice. You've got to practice it. You've got to start thinking in this way to get used to it. It's like building muscles or endurance or cardiovascular or anything else. We need to utilize our brain to get it strong. But once you start getting good at this, you will start realizing, oh, wait a second. Here's the cool thing. Once you start doing this consistently, you'll start to be able to ask yourself, is this too complex for me? What is a simple thing? What is something that I can do? So somebody goes, well, I don't know how to get that position. Well, do you know how to do a little bit of research and maybe make a phone call? Because most people know how to do that. You don't know how to do that big thing, start small. Once you start moving, it's far more likely that you will continue to move. This is like one of Newton's laws, right? An object that is in motion tends to stay in motion. But also an object that is not in motion tends to not move, okay? Unless an outside force acts upon it. So once you are moving, you need an outside force to derail you. And if you're not moving, you need an outside force to get you moving. Now, if that's help from somebody else, a mentor, a coach, someone like that, that's fantastic. But legitimately, all you typically need is a simplified plan. Start with that first action. Once you start moving, this happens so many times in practice. Somebody will call me and, Mark, I'm stuck, and I'll say, just start moving on this one simple thing. As soon as they start moving, they're off to the races. They're fine for quite a while. Today, what I want you to do with your action step for today is simply ask yourself, what is 1, 2, or 3 things? Even just ask that one thing. What is one thing that I can do right now for the next 5 minutes after watching this video? What is one thing I can do for 5 minutes that is going to set me up for success for today? If you don't know what this is, this is what I would suggest you do. Write out your plan for the day. Write out your plan for the week. Once you do that, you are far more likely to have success. People who write things out and have a plan often, almost always actually, do better than the people without any plans. Every once in a while there's an odd thing that happens, but typically it's not about lazy, it's not about that you have no desire, it's that you don't know how. Or you're not sure it'll work, or again, you're not sure what that next step is. So write down those next steps right now. I'm positive it'll make a difference for your day and your week. Enjoy it.